What is going on, guys? It is Lags. I'm bringing you guys another video today. This time we're going to change some stuff up, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a class setup video, and then over the weekend I'll put out a more of like a strategy type video for those of you who are running through SMGs like my team is. So let's go ahead and start with my first class setup is my anchor stuff, and I don't really anchor anymore, but I have it just in case. I really like being in the hill using SMG, and I find that I'm stronger at that. But I still have my anchor class set up, just in case. So to start it out, I have the greedy bastard. Obviously, I use quick draw on this one, and I don't really use this one all too much, but I have it there just in case. Then I have my most common class setup. With every class that I use in M8, I always have flak jacket because it kind of slows you down a little bit. So when you're strafing with stock, you kind of your bullet spread isn't as wide, and it's just seemed to help me out. I don't know if it's a mental thing, kind of like using long barrel or not, but for me, I've kind of noticed it to work, so I have been using it. And my next class setup is if they're using stuns. If they keep stunning me and whatnot, then this is going to be the class I'm going to be switching to, which should not have extreme conditioning on. Then I'm going to switch it to dexterity. And yeah, so that's my, if they're stunning me on the anchor. This next one I use only on the first hill and the breaking, right off the break off, and it's basically trying to kill the other anchor. So I like to stun them and try to nade them. Hopefully get something with that. And I'm actually going to change that to tack mask, just in case they're using it too. And then the class setup that I use the second most is my hardwired class, because as an anchor, everything is based off your mini map. You gotta see where your guys are spawning and where there's gunfire at and whatnot, and it helps you know where they're pushing from. And so you need to have your mini map up at all times. So this is the one I use the second most, especially if I know I'm playing against a team that is EMPing a lot. And I'll go ahead and switch over now to my S&D. This is again my one that I use the most. Pretty basic. I use flak jacket for every single S&D class. I think that flak jacket is basically required in S&D unless you're doing like one big push. So if we're playing like raid, for example, and we want to hit, I think it's A on the pool, then we want to get there as fast as we can, smoke it out, get that bomb down, try to get a pick with a dual band or something. Then I'll make a class specifically for that. But other than that, I always use flak jacket. And my next class, I use this once I start realizing that they're using MMS or something. I don't really care as much about dual band. It could get annoying, but MMS to me, if you're sitting in a corner and all of a sudden a guy just comes out of a corner and you're dead and his MMS, that to me is just so much more annoying. So I don't use it unless I know that they're using MMS. Every once in a while I switch it if they have a dual band, but that's rare. My next class is basically just for Express. I don't really use this for anything else. I play pretty aggressively on search and destroy. So for example, standoff search and destroy, sorry. When we're going for the B bomb, my job is to get up in the laundry and control that, which is why I like to use the double stuns on this class. But on Express, my job is to get into admin, and I found this to really be the best way to get in there quickly and also be able to hold it down. And then my next class is my AR class. I really don't use it all too much anymore. I used to use it a lot, but ever since I really switched to SMGs, my AR shot's been off, so I kind of haven't been toying with it too much, but I have it there just in case anyway, especially if I'm doing bad with an SMG. Again, I use Flak Jacket with all my M8s, and I use it for search and destroy and everything, so that's always going to be there. And then I put on Tac Mask. I'm pretty sure the last time I used this class, we're playing against guys that they all stunned. I'm pretty sure they all use concussion, so I switched to that. I put that on. I put a grenade on more because I wanted a way to check an area, and I really wanted a trophy system because it's so helpful in S&D. So I put on a grenade, and then I have my last class, which is basically if I realize that they're using dual band or MMS and they're stunning, I switch to this one a lot. If I know that they're not really going to be using dual band or MMS that much, I'll switch out for hardwired, but that's really rare. Since the majority of people now are using MMS and dual bands, I don't really think I'll switch it out that much. And for maps such as Raid Hardpoint, Raid Search and Destroy, I usually switch this out and do the same thing as this one, but instead of 2 concussions, I will use 2 trophies, and I found that to be helpful. So my next class setup would be CTF, and it's basically a general, basically everyone uses the same stuff, This is the one I use the most. I found dexterity to be really helpful when running a flag. I use this one the most again, but I don't use it as much if I know I'm not going to be the running a flag as much. We usually try to have a set guy who's going to be running a flag, and if someone else is near it, then someone else gets it. But I've been running a flag a lot lately, so I've been using this. And again, dexterity really helps, especially maps like Standoff. Standoff I think has been the most helpful. It can even help on Raid and even Slums, but Standoff I think is the most helpful, like especially when you're pulling grandmas. You climb up the ladder, you can kind of see where they're at, know where to go and whatnot, and that kind of helps. And climbing over stuff, again, it's huge when you have the flag. You want to get over as fast as you can, so that's been my staple. My next one is when they have a sentry gun. I want to be able to destroy it, and to me this stuff should be banned because this is just, it's so cheap. It's so easy to take out the sentry gun now. But yeah, that's in case they get a sentry gun. And this one's if we get a sentry gun. Again, I use Flak Jacket on all my M8s, so that's why I have that on there. The 2 trophies are, of course, to protect the sentry, and I decided to throw a grenade on because I didn't really know what else to use. So again, that's only if we get a sentry, and sometimes I don't even switch to that. Kind of depends what we're doing as a team. And then this one is my sneaky class. I put Dead Silence on, and I use this one really if the game is kind of going slow. Then there's not as much. There's more sound whoring, I think, when the game's kind of going slow. So I put this one on, and even if the game isn't going that slow, and I start to realize that I'm really getting sound whored, I'm going to switch to this. Or even if I feel like sound whoring someone around a corner or something, this really helps. But I almost never use this one. It's rare, but it's so helpful to have just in case. This is usually a pretty common one for me. Hold on. Yeah, except I changed something up. Instead of using the pistol and smoke, I use 2 concussions. And I find that this is like my general, when I'm not the one running a flag, what I use. I find it really helpful and really nice, being able to stun people, especially ARs. They don't really use Tac Mask most of the time, so usually able to get off a good stun on them, which is going to help. And then I have, of course, my hardpoint class setup. This is the one I use most often. I've really been changing up what I use almost every time I die, so I don't really have like one I use the majority of the time, but this is the one I'm going to use no matter what at the beginning of the hill. The very first hill, I use this one. For example, standoff hardpoint. When you get green spawn, I like to go bottom wood and just pre-fire blue van, and it helps to have that extended clip. So I use that one a lot, but again, I really switch it up. This is one that I use if they have the hill and a sentry gun or something. I started finding this to be kind of useful. I really don't use it almost at all, but I have it just in case. I just kind of feel like it's good, but it can be pointless. But I think it's something that you should have. Someone else on our team uses concussions, which is why I have the EMPs, so it kind of helps. This one I use really if I know I'm going to be the one in hill and it's going to be a small hill such as church. That way I don't get grenaded, and I could just kind of lay there and watch jump up. Other than that, I don't really use this one all too much. I sometimes use it for green. If I'm the one in the hill, if I die and I'm the one rotating over, I switch to this. But again, I don't use it all too much. This is my most common class as of late. Again, I've really been liking using the stuns. Even if they're using tac mask, it could give you a split second of a stun that can end up winning you a gunfight or winning a teammate a gunfight if you hit them just right. So I've really been using this one a majority of the time. And Cryptic recommended I start trying out the MP7. I've been seeing a lot of people using it lately too, but to me, I don't know if I like it yet or not. There's times I get a really fast kill, and other times I seem like I can't kill anyone with it. But at the same time, it has really manageable recoil, and it's a good gun. But again, it just takes a while, I think, to get used to. So that's it for my class setup, guys. Hopefully this helps someone out at least. And my next video that I'm going to have out either tomorrow or Sunday, I'm going to go over strategy or something, or I may end up going over kind of like a why I do what I do type of thing, why I make the decisions I do. And if it's long, I may cut it up into 2 videos or something. But again, I hope this helps, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for my next video. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and take it easy, guys.